What's your name and how long have you been coming to River?
My name is Morne. I've been with River Church for about 2 years. What made me start to share the gospel regularly is like when I was in ministry school some time ago, it was something we did on a regular basis, and it just happened so like life happened and we stopped doing that. So I really felt the need just to be more intentional about it. Before I went out sharing the gospel, it's quite frankly a bit anxious, not as confident, in feeling inadequate, not knowing all the things. So
Yeah.
definitely played a big role. Same feelings come up, but I must say going out more regularly and doing it as a practice, a bit more confident, and even knowing that you won't have all the answers or have all the knowledge. Actually going out and doing it, making time for it. But also we as humans have fear, anxiety, and that can hinder us of actually going out and connecting with people on a personal level. I think just actually going out, just do it.
What's the most fun part about going to share the gospel?
I think the most fun part of sharing the gospel is actually the conversations we have. They can be very dynamic and interesting. And the biggest part for me is like a lot of times when you share these conversations, God gives us the opportunity to get ministered to. And that's super helpful and valuable in life. His master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over little. I've sent you over much. Enter into the joy of your master."
So Morne, this is the master who represents God talking to his faithful servant saying, enter into the joy of your master for being faithful.
Yeah.
Have you seen this passage lived out in your life by sharing the gospel?
I must say I truly have. The biggest thing for me is the instant joy while you're sharing the gospel or even just after, and the immense peace you feel. Even if you get rejection, just the knowing that you did it, you get that amazing peace that you can only find from God. Starting gospel conversations can be challenging, but I think the biggest thing to remember is like they're just a normal person, and finding something familiar or something they might be wearing or a hat or some interest that you can see they're talking about or doing. A lot of times sharing your own experience with God and things that you've seen God do in your life, that is a good starting point to start turning the conversation towards the Word.
Do you have any stories you'd like to share when you've gone out to have gospel conversations?
There's that one story that comes to mind. It's this one guy we met of Islam faith. And I think the conversation went very fruitful because we spent some time, discussing differences between his faith and ours. And I think it was fruitful. He was super open to the conversation. And as a matter of fact, we actually saw him a few weeks later in the same route. And he greeted us and he was super friendly. But I think the biggest point for me is, now I have someone on my prayer list to pray for. Even if you don't see the fruit happening at the spot, I know he's on my prayer list and I'll be continuing praying for him. Definitely knowing that you will have some anxiousness, fear, inadequacy. We don't have all the answers. So that's something I would say, just go out and do it. Just get that willingness going. The other point I want to make is being genuine and not seeing this as a project, as seeing a person as another subject, but just be natural and go out and share, have a normal conversation.